Welcome to Forless Computers. Today we have a Lenovo Thinkpad model 510, and we are going to replace an i5 processor. It's an i5 560M, and we're going to replace it with an i7 640M. And the benefit will be a bit faster on the turbo and also on the regular frequency. We're jumping from 2.9 turbo on the 5, and we're jumping up to 3.4 turbo on the 7. We'll shut the cover, and if you note, the battery's already been removed, the AC power has been removed, and we need to follow the symbols on the bottom. It shows you which one to remove. Firstly, the simplest thing is we have a lock on the side and a slider, so push the lock towards the back, push the slider to the outside, and out pops your optical drive. And at the same time, we also have a bay here. You've got a holder for your card. Remove that. The next step, you have the symbol here for the hard drive, and this is your memory bay. So if you are only going so far as to change memory, then this is as far as you can go. There you go. Keep that there. There. Let's keep these together. Now, start removing this screw right here where the symbol shows. And you notice there's only one memory slot. The other memory slot is underneath the keyboard. So if you want to replace both chips, then you would have to remove the keyboard for that, as well as we will for the processor. And your hard drive bay, remove this. Hard drive is out. And we'll remove some of these screws here. That had the symbol that was on the hard drive base, so this one needs to be removed. A handy little trick I have is a small magnet, so your screws don't go flying on you. But you do want to be careful where you place that. You don't want to place it on anything that's going to interfere, like your processor, your hard drive, so forth. Remove there, and you will have to remove quite a few screws. These models are very well built, and they are very rugged and reliable. I'm very fond of the ThinkPad series. Okay, let's see what we have here. This looks like it's going to work. Take her back over. And has a release for the right there for your locking mechanism for your display. Open this up. And now we have everything loose here. The keyboard should slide back. I'll need a small flat-bladed screwdriver. And these, if they've not been apart before, they're going to take a little persuading. I think I have too large of a screwdriver for this. Try to loosen this thing up. Okay. It appears it's a little tight, so we have some more screws to remove. Let's take a look again. Here's the one here that was symbolized on the hard drive. I thought they meant this one, but they meant this one right here. So we will remove this one. And we have three here. take these out. These are the small ones. And the third one here. And this one is stuck on some tape that I used to put the Windows activation code for my customer. There we go. Now, I need to take these out while I get this upside down. And note these are a little shorter. That's in the back over here. And they're also look to be a little thicker. As you can see, there's a difference in diameters as well. There. So we're going to put these to one side. And we'll do the other side. So they had 3 on this corner, and there's only 1 on this corner here. That's going to be the stout one, the thick one here. There. And looks like we have it here. We'll give it another try. See if that keyboard's going to come loose on us. These keyboards are very, very tight. Lenovo has very tight standards on this, but I get a little more movement. Let's get a smaller screwdriver. And there's a metal frame around here. You don't want to go on the keys, but they're inside there, just to the outside, so you can get a little movement. And hold it up. And try this side here. There we go, got this side, pops up, gently, be careful of the cable here, and now it has a little pull tab, which I can't reach with my fingers, but if you be very careful with this, I can't grab it with my fingers, but to use a screwdriver to assist here. The grip. Try that. It is, be very careful with this because that's there. Had to use the flat of the screwdriver against there and pinch it because I couldn't grab it with my fingers. Now, there we go. And now your touchpad cable is underneath this. And you can't quite get at the CPU here, so this case here has to come loose. And one thing I know about Lenovo, they have a spill guard all the way across. There's spill resistant frame on the top, and it's going to have to come all the way around because it very tight fit through here. So let's go ahead and loosen this up here. And again, taking I'll try with my hands first. These are, let's see if I can get something loose just using my fingernails. No, this is too tight. A lot of the laptops I can't do that. But, oh, yes I did. Look at this. Take my thumbnail, and this is, you see the lip here? Right across here. This way you have a better feel and less chance of damaging it. It's very thin here where the latch is, so you want to be very careful there. So we'll try from the other side, see if I can pop it loose over here. And we'll try screw that for a sponge. Okay. I like to avoid the thin areas. There we go. See, I avoid that section there that tends to be fragile. anywhere where there's the vents for the cooling, and here, they're very fragile in these areas. You want to be very careful. And just take your time. I popped it here. There we go. Now it's going to be caught up on that hinge because of the spill guard, so you want to leave that for last. There we go. I got this to separate, and be very careful. Okay. Let's flip this over here. Get a better look at it. There we go. There. And there. Now you gotta roll this guy back. And not that far back. There we go. Make sure there's nothing hanging up. And put the cable here. There. There we go. Let's start to get it. There. There we go. Now let's see what we can do here. There. There's your spill guard right there. Set this down here. Now we've got free access to the cooling fan processor, and it is a little dusty in here. If you want to blow these out, you don't want to blow directly on the fan. You want to hold it so you don't overspeed the bearings. You can burn up your bearings by over revving the cooling fan. Okay. Now here you've got to remove the speaker. Put this to the side here. That speaker is going to be in the way of this portion of the heatsink, and also very carefully, you can use that again just to tape it back down. You'd be very careful when you put this back in. All these cables have to be out of the way. Okay, now let's. Now I'm not going to disconnect the cooling fan unless I absolutely have to. And let's see where our screws are here. Let's take this off first here. While we got this open, I did not mention, here's your other RAM chip right here. So if you're going to do a RAM upgrade, you want to put the chip that's the largest on this side here. So if you need more RAM later, then you can change on the bottom, which is a whole lot easier. A little thinking ahead. Very carefully, let's see what's holding this fan in. I don't see any screws holding it down here. It's moving. So just very carefully pull back and wiggle. And this is coming right out slowly. You don't want it to pop on you and yank on your power cable either. And I don't see anywhere. Oh, this is tight, isn't it? Let's try and get the cable out of the way.
I pull back the screen some.
There we go. There. There we go. This is gonna. Probably this cable is gonna prevent this from moving back. And move this out of the way. Up and around. There. See if we can do a little better now. There it goes. See, these cables are really tight in here. Okay, pull that up a little bit more. There it comes, a little at a time. There. Boy, that was tight, wasn't it? And this thing is very dusty. This is going to have to be cleaned out. And looking down here, oh yeah. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this into my other area, and I'm going to blow this thing out, get this thing cleaned up. So we do need.
What do you suggest?
Well, you can use a can of air. You can get that at Office Depot or any office store. But I have an oilless compressor, and that works quite nicely. And I don't have to pay X number of dollars a can for a little bit of air. I get nice clean air coming out of a small compressor. And that's good clean air. Now we're going to clean this up before we take it out. It's a whole lot easier to clean it when it's in the socket. This is a socket 1, by the way. If I'm not mistaken, I believe so. Let's take this out here. Okay. And I am going to have to remove the power cable here. So let's just go ahead, since this one is so dirty. And my fat fingers don't work real well. So I get a nail on the side, screwdriver. Just pop that puppy. There we go. Yeah. We're going to have fun getting that tight thing in there with all those cables, but we'll make it. Now, well, I got it here. Let's just go ahead and remove that. You notice you can see the processor moving. And many of these, this model doesn't have it. They'll have an indicator on the screw there. It will be a little low, but this one doesn't have it. Just turn all the way to the left. And you notice you've got your gold triangle here. Just very gently pull that out. There's 900 and some odd pins. I'll go ahead and set this processor over here. I'm going to get this so it doesn't flip on me. And here's the i7 640. I got that wrap as to keep it safe, because these pins are very, very thin. They're very delicate. And let's see here. That's some tough tape, isn't it? So I'm going to, there we go. Need to just pinch it a little bit. We're going to save this here to protect the i5 processor. It's still a good processor, and it can be put back to use maybe in a machine with an i3. So there's our gold triangle. And if you lose orientation, there's one pin missing over here, and that's where the triangle goes. There we go. Now we hope that my vendor didn't bend a pin. They've done that in the past. But that's down there nice and flat. Take it and rotate this thing clockwise all the way. Give it a check. It's in nice and tight, very gentle. Okay, now we're back in my workshop. This is where I do a lot of my mechanical work, anywhere from fixing a lawnmower to who knows what, home repairs. So you'll go ahead and hold the fan so you don't spin this thing around. Just get a light blow. And you don't have to hit it with full pressure, just a little light pressure, and that's all it needs. There we go, we're ready to go. Now we're back from our little workshop, and I just got a bit of dust there, so I'll just take a towel, just wipe it out. And I could have brought the whole computer out there, but it just not look that dusty anywhere else, just the around the cooling area. And now we're gonna go get our heat sink, which is underneath everything here that I piled on it. heat sink material here. And I always get it on myself. There you go. Let's go ahead and roll that tube. We're getting a little low, but I got some more. We can make it with this tube here. Just need a little bit, move it around. You don't have to get carried away. Like so. Just a little bit, move it around. That's actually very liberal. Now, that's going to transfer the heat a lot easier with this compound. There. Now for the fun part is we had a bit of trouble getting this out. Now we got to put it back in and get it around these cables. So we're going to have a good time with this now. Make sure these cables are all well out of the way. Oh, this is going to be an experience here. Very, very tight. Move that screen back a little bit. And this is in the way. See the cabling. Very, very tight in here. I've done there. Okay, got it?
Yep.
Okay, now I got the cables pretty well out of the way here. It's still going to be a little bit of a struggle. I'm ready for it. And before we get too far, let's plug this guy back in. We'll get my fingers nice and tight. Just very gently. Oh, almost have it, believe it or not. It's got to come in and forward. There we go. Are there any cables in the way? It doesn't appear so. Just have to. It's getting very close. And look, sure these cables are up out of the way. We're very close, we see that. It just has to roll forward, and I don't see any obstructions. And just kind of move it around and see where we're at. I see no obstructions. It's just tight. Let's turn it here. Oh, there's a corner that's caught up on right here. There. See, there's just a little corner right there. And we are lined up. Just like that. And here's my screwdriver there. I'm just going to get it just started. Get them all just started here. So I'm going to move it around a little bit. Get everything lined up before I get it tight. Okay, because we have to get the cables set in here so they don't get in the way. So it goes down in that guide there, and That is in there perfect. It wasn't as bad going in as it was taken out, which is surprising. Okay, now I'll get these. Careful with the speaker, you don't put your finger through it. Okay, I'll get that nice and tight. This we can tighten. This here, so I was careful taking it out, we can just use the same tape. Otherwise, Scotch tape will work just fine. Now, tight. Don't have to over tighten these. Nice firm. Okay, we have this now. Oops, let's make sure everything is in place first before we try to button up. This cable's moved a little bit, so nothing else has moved. Everything is where it needs to be.
Want to tuck that down another chassis maybe?
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah. And that puppy, you don't want to pinch it on the thing. That should do it. Now we just repeat here. Tip it down. Now, be very careful with these here, because you don't want to have to remove everything. So when you get this cable in place, make sure it's good and solid down there. Rock it around a little bit. Take a small screwdriver or a sponge and pop that puppy up. Not real confident in that. Let's redo this. So I've had these things not seathed properly, and I don't want to have to take this back apart again. Let's tight in there. I guess that's in there. Now we've got to snap this in here. This all just pops in its tabs. See here, it's a lip here. You can see right here where my thumb is a little, pops down there if you saw that. And the same with the sides. A little at a time. A little at a time. Just take your time. And let's pop this up, make sure everything's nice and tight. Now we have the keyboard. This is an easy one, because that's just presses in right there, and you just line that up and roll it in. Kind of give it a little slack. The key is to line it up properly. And we're lining it up. And when you got fat fingers, sometimes you have to go a different way. There we go. fat fingers or not, it's in there nice and tight. And we push that in like so. Well, let's do the other way. We'll do it this way. That's how we do it. It's just going to pop down like that, and then back. We're going to make sure it's seated properly. Be careful not on your buttons. It's got a little metal frame here. You'll find when you work on these, and make sure they're seated in there properly. That's that. Now we're done with this section here.
Come on, focus.
Now we're going to have to repeat here, and we've got there. Yep. There. 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 Like so. Remember these four here. And button these heavier ones down first. These here. I got the three small ones here. Okay, now we've got these. And that one there, yes. Where did I put, that's the one that goes here, this little guy right here. So we're just reversing the order. So this little magnet comes in handy here. I can hold all the screws in one shot. They're not going to go anywhere. Double check that. Yeah, that is down all the way. Okay. Over here. That's already got one in there. I got there, there. Two screws left. And I see 1, 2. So we have them all. No leftover parts. That's always a good thing. Okay, I can drop this back in over here. And this is nice. You don't have to unscrew or screw anything. Now they don't want to go down on their own because they have to be set like so. Then they'll pop in. When you line them up vertical, they will align perfectly. Well, I think we better drop our hard drive in before we put the cover in there. And here we go. Nice and tight. There we go. And this goes in here. Take that around. There's my screw there. Let's put this down here. Make sure they're nice and flat. Last cover, hard drive cover. And it's not quite in. It's got a piece that will hold this hard drive in place. There we go. It wasn't quite seated. That piece will go right in the corner. See, it's notched for it. And there we go. And as you screw it in, this is going to lay flat then. Like so. Now, time to put a battery. This came with a nice 9-volt battery, or 9-cell battery, I mean, not 9-volt. We'll put in the AC power. And like I've said in other videos, sometimes these will not recognize the processor the first time. Some of these you have to boot a couple times. And with Lenovo, you fire it up, press F1 instead of F2 on most other brands. And we're into the BIOS now. I need to see this. We're in Configure, Enter. We're going to run down, look at the processor. CPU. And what do we see here? Multi-processing enabled. That's disabled. And that is UTD features. We're going to leave it set at the default right now. And let's take this up a notch. And we'll look at this Intel AMT. Control, and that looks normal, so we're going to go ahead and do an F10. We're going to save it, and let's see if this gets recognized. Sometimes Windows doesn't recognize it. It's not really the laptop because it wouldn't be processing. So it is processing. And we got the blue screen. Okay, we found the issue. We had some RAM in there that was incompatible, and we'll just go ahead and start that up. So we changed sticks, and let's see what we get today. Okay, Windows Splash. And there we have a screen already. That's surprising. That took no time at all. Well, that's what happens when you up your frequency. You're going to get a little better performance. There we are. We have one functioning computer with an i7-640M. Anyway, thank you for viewing, and you have a wonderful day.